I'm trying really hard to balance this on a carpet and some books on my bed, so it's not even my camera. Sorry Peter if I break it. Hello, I'm Natasha, welcome to Bibliobsessed, and today I'll be reviewing Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jess Andrews. So this is a young adult contemporary book, and it deals with a very common theme in young adult fiction lately, which is terminal illnesses. But the interesting bit about this book is that it's not from the perspective, and it doesn't necessarily deal a lot with the struggle of the person who is suffering from the terminal illness, in this case leukemia, but it is from the perspective of Greg. It's this kid who is forced to hang out by his mom with this girl called Rachel just because they knew each other when they were younger and she got leukemia. So Earl is this very unique character. He really disengaged himself with the rest of his classmates. He doesn't really have best friends, he doesn't really belong in any social group, but he doesn't also have enemies with any group. But all this is supposed to change because, Rachel comes in his life. Greg has this friend, but he calls him his co-worker, Earl, and together they make these really amateur films that are inspired by old classic cult films. And they get around into making a film for Rachel, and basically this is the main story in the book. Now, some things that I really enjoyed about this book is that first, it is a really unique approach to a very common theme in young adult fiction. It doesn't actually talk a lot about the struggle. Well, it doesn't explicitly talks about the struggle of Rachel. We don't actually see the personal growth of Rachel. It's all about Greg and how he interacts with this girl who has the terminal illness. This book is very funny. I know it tackles like a very serious issue, but it is ridiculously funny. The humor is not stupid funny, but it's just like, it's the right amount of funny to keep you very entertained. The other thing that I liked in this book is that the family, the parents, they play a very important role in the plot of the book. I know in a lot of young adult fiction, the parents are just like gone. They're not even in the picture. They have a very minimal role. It was a very fresh twist into the book, seeing the parents being actually involved in the plot. Also, the other thing I really enjoyed in this book was that it has these parts in it which are, just open it straight away. It's like screenplay dialogue. I don't know if you can see, but it's very well done. It works very well in this book, more importantly because Greg makes all these like films, and by, his way of writing the screenplay also adds humor to the scene. It was very nicely done, and it really just added a sprinkle of variety in the reading. Now, some things that maybe like negatives for this book. I didn't particularly have any issues with the book. I actually really enjoyed it. I finished it so quickly, I just couldn't put it down. But some people complained that Rachel's role was really pushed aside. She was really being more like a supportive character, and they wished that more, spotlight was given to Rachel. But I didn't find that to be a problem personally. The X factor about this book is that it is a debut book by the writer Jess Andrews, and I was really impressed with the quality and structure of it. I really enjoyed it. It's a very nice piece of work for like a debut novel. Also, it has a movie adaptation, and I think the movie adaptation was just very nicely done. The screenplay was done by the writer of the book, so it keeps to the same tone, the same style, and you also get the nice scenes in, and even some add-ons that were made, they're still, consistent with the theme and the style of the book. And the movie adaptation offers like a new light, a new insight into like Greg and his story. But more importantly, it offers an insight into Rachel, which was something that, you know, people complain about in this book, that she was, you know, sidetracked. But in the movie, you know, you actually do see more about the character of Rachel, and it is very nicely done. I really enjoyed this book. The characters are very unique and the story was very fresh, and it was a very nice read. I rate this 5 out of 5 just because it was just a really nice read. It was a well-structured story, well-rounded characters, and just the whole book didn't bore me at all. Now onto some fun parts. So, 1. It's the Sorting Hat. So, what Hogwarts house will the main characters of this book be in? For Greg, I think he is a pure Hufflepuff, and the same goes for Rachel. But for Earl, I think he's totally a Gryffindor. Zombie apocalypse survival prediction. So how do these characters survive in a zombie apocalypse? Well, for Greg, I think he's going to go into full panic mode, and that will be to his own detriment. So I give him a prediction of a month. For Rachel, I feel like she's more of the type to stay in her house with her family, kind of barricade and try to survive with like the supplies that they have. I don't feel like she's the type to go out and try to fight for her life. So for Rachel, I give her maybe like a couple of weeks. Now for Earl is a whole different story. Earl is going to be all guns blazing in a zombie apocalypse. Well, to be honest, more likely his family, his brothers, are going to be guns blazing, and he's just going to follow behind them, pathetically, you know, shooting a few zombies here and there. But, you know, in the end of the day, right, aggressiveness can only take you this far, and I feel like in the case of Earl, it'll be a complete chaos to control his brothers, and that would just, you know, be their fall. So I give them a survival rate of half a year. So what were your thoughts on the book and the movie as well? Did you enjoy it? What did you not like so much about both of them, or the book specifically? Also, do you agree with my rating, and do you agree with my Sorting Hat and zombie survival predictions? I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave your comments down below and I'll be sure to check them out and respond to them. Thank you so much. This is my first time doing this. I know this is going to be, I feel like this is going to be a very shaky video, just because I can see the box that the camera is not shaking, and I'm kind of like, sorry. And sorry also for the crazy eyes, because I'm still not comfortable being in front of the camera. I feel so weird. Bye, 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 bye.